חליל אל-הייל, מנהיג אופוזיציה קטארי שחי בגלות בלונדון, מחליט להתראיין לתקשורת הישראלית ולדבר על שיטות ההשפעה של קטאר, המיליארדים שהיא משקיעה במאבק נגד ישראל ובטרור העולמי. הנה ראיון שקיימתי איתו מוקדם יותר השבוע. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here today.
So Israelis today are talking about how former Prime Minister Ehud Barak was named in the Epstein files and linked to Qatar's Jabbar El-Thani. Is there more to the story that you can share with us?
Epstein files showed us part of what Qatar actually doing, similar to what happened in Qatar Gate and the accusations of some officials that basically helping the Qatari media narrative, and we all seen how is the investigation exposed a lot of that. So Qatar basically
Can you tell me how deep does Qatari involvement go into Israel, especially their connections to opposition figures?
So it's very obvious the way the Qataris work, especially in the Qatari Gate and Epstein files. They usually trying to buy their influence throughout the media, and they will always find someone who actually listen to them. One of the accusations that one of the major newspapers in Israel visited Qatar, and after that visit, he basically he've written a lot of stories that match the Qatari stories in the mediation of with Hamas. For me, our standing is very clear that Qatar should not play any role in any mediation with Israel.
The Prime Minister of Qatar also gave an interview to Channel 12.
So basically, a lot of the lefties that aligned with the lobbyists in America that been sponsored and supported by the Qatari regime, they are actually spreading the messages of the Qatari narrative. A good mediator, a country that want to implement peace in the region. This is all, I call it a shuttle diplomacy, and at the same time, it's just a conspiracy to affect the other part in the world, which is the West, to try to manipulate a lot of people that doesn't understand a lot in the politics.
Can you try and explain to me why is it so important for Qatar to, spend billions of dollars on improving their image? Because at the end of the day, we know how much, and you were talking about it, they're funding world terror. But it seems to be working, the young kids are being brainwashed. Money is being flown to campuses, social media, TikTok. At the end of the day, this propaganda is working.
The method the Qataris used usually in the media, they create a fake information, and then they legalize that information and they spread it. How? Example, the Qatari government decide to say, okay, they are a good mediator. They are supporting the good people like Hamas. They put the messages into other institutions, NGOs, to make it look like they are not the ones who said it. And then they put it in their own media like Al Jazeera and any sponsored media. In Germany, for example, they are translating the voice call between Hind Rajab and her mother, and they're putting it in German. And they are just playing the narrative with the lefties, with everyone.
Al Jazeera has so many viewers around the world, so many Arab viewers around the world, and it's been pumping Israeli content day and night. A few
days ago, there was an airstrike from Israel to Gaza. They don't tell the people why that happened. They don't tell the people there was 2 missiles being from the Gaza side. They don't say there was a few sites that had some Hamas terrorists. They're just explaining the context that Israel is not willing to compromise and they're not willing to negotiate. And this sort of things in the Arab world, when you keep spreading the message day and night, same narrative, they start to believe it, even if it's not true.
unfortunately, we're not hearing enough Arab leaders talking the way you do, Arab leaders who are openly condemning terror, openly condemning Hamas, openly condemning Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and all forms of terror. Can you try and explain to me why we don't hear voices like yourself more often?
Okay, so basically, if you focus, like I've been active for many years. The only problem I faced is the media. Most of the media was sponsored by the Qatari regime. And they are very sensitive toward having someone like me who's very critical against the Qatari regime. We come back to the Arab leaders and Arab world. The Arab world is very complicated. The way the media runs in Arab world is all about state, governmental state broadcast channels. So once they have a problem, once they have peace, so during the issues, they could actually spread some messagings against the Qatari regime and do that, but at the same time, they worried about the counter-strike from the Qatari media.
Are you afraid to speak up? Are you afraid of your life?
Of course I have to be afraid of my life. I've been struggling with the Qatari regime for many years. The influence of Qatari government even comes to a country like UK.
You're sacrificing a lot for your truth.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice because at the end of the day, if every person will gonna obey what the Qatari government want, we will not gonna be a successful country in the future.
Wow. Khalila El-Hel, I want to thank you so much for your brave words, for speaking up the truth and for speaking up for peace. You know, I really wish we'll see better days between Israel and Qatar. We'll see
I promise you one thing. When the regime falls in Qatar, we will sign the Abraham Accord, and we will have an Israeli embassy in Qatar, and I will have a Qatari embassy in Israel, and a new Qatar will gonna occur soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, in God's will. Khalila El-Hel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bless you. Thank you, Dana.
כן, איש אמיץ, את הרעיון המלא אפשר למצוא בפודקאסט החדש באנגלית של הערוץ, בספוטיפיי, יוטיוב ושאר הרשתות. תגובתכם לרעיון האמיץ הזה.
ששומעים את זה, אי אפשר שלא לטעות על המדיניות הישראלית כלפי קטאר לאורך כל כך הרבה שנים, כל כך אמביוולנטית, עושים איתם עסקים, בכירים שלנו נוסעים שם למונדיאל, והם באותו זמן פשוט חותרים תחתנו ותחת העולם היהודי, מקעקעים את האמון של הציבור בעולם ביהודים, אנטישמיות, משלמים לפוליטיקאים. הגיע הזמן שנעשה אחת מצב מאוד עמוקה לגבי היחסים שלנו עם הישות הזאת.
כן, רותם.
קודם כל אני רוצה להמליץ על הפודקאסט באנגלית.
תודה רבה.
בנוגע לקטארים, באמת זה רעיון מאוד חשוב, כי הנושא הזה, הנושא של ההשפעה שלהם וההיקף של ההשפעה שלהם, הוא לא ברור, קצת קשה כאילו במפה לראות את הגודל שלהם ולהבין כמה הוא. משרד החינוך האמריקאי פרסם רק לפני יומיים, שהתורמת הגדולה ביותר לאוניברסיטאות אמריקאיות ב-2025, עם יותר מ-1.1 מיליארד דולר, הייתה קטאר. יותר מכל ישות